let's get into the autumn spirit. I want to talk you through today how to draw these chestnuts. I do absolutely love an autumn drawing, and this is probably simpler than you might think. So I'll talk you through how I approach this. Now, if you want to go through this with me in a lot more detail, it is available on my Patreon. I have loads of drawings of loads of different subject matters, including quite a few autumn themed drawings. And I have tutorials in coloured pencils, watercolour pencils, and graphite pencils. Now, for every tutorial, I include really in-depth instructions, all of the real-time footage, details of all of the colours that I'll be using, sketch outlines, and the reference photo. I have some faster drawings like this and some much longer drawings that are also more impressive. Check out the link in the description. Now let's look at the steps I went through to create these chestnuts. Now, as always, I want to start off here by building up the lightest colour I can see in each section. And we're going to start from the lightest colours and gradually work towards the darker colours. So the lightest colour I can see around the edge of the leaf is a kind of light beige. The edge of the leaves are very autumn themed. They're kind of orangey brown. And then the inner section of the leaf is quite a dark green. So I want to use this beige pencil on any area that is more like that orangey colour. You kind of get used to seeing the lighter colours in each area, and you get used to being able to spot where they are. Now, the most important thing that I'm doing here is working really nice and lightly. I don't want to be pressing really hard with the pencil because then I won't be able to build up all of the layers that I need to be adding here. Now, the reason that I like to start from the lighter colours and work towards the darker colours is because I find it so much more forgiving than going straight in with the darkest value. If I get something in slightly the wrong place or the shape isn't looking quite right, it's much easier to adjust it with the lighter pencil. You can go over it with some darker pencils. If you're just going straight in mapping out shapes with the darkest pencils, you're really committing to what you've got here. Now, once I'm happy with this first colour, I want to work my way through the lightest colours in each section. So as I said, there's a different lightest colour in each area. The lightest colour on the green area of this leaf is quite a yellowish green. So I'm going to put a nice, smooth, even layer of this colour in this area. Now, in terms of how I'm getting down the pencil nice and smoothly, I'm working in circular motions rather than just scribbling back and forth. And that just puts down the pencil in a much more consistent way and is going to create a really lovely base. Once I've gone over this yellowish green area, I want to use a completely different green for this leaf here. It's a much more kind of standard green, I guess. It hasn't got as much of that yellow tone. And I can use this for not only this leaf, but also some of the outsides of the chestnuts. Now let's look at the chestnuts themselves, and actually there's quite a few colours on them. Generally speaking, the chestnuts are very dark, but they do have some lighter patches. So let's use a cool grey to map in those lighter areas. Again, I just want to get something down for these lightest patches. And then actually I can switch to a reasonably dark colour to fill in the lightest colour on the chestnuts themselves. So the chestnuts are very dark, but they do have some lighter reddish brown patches. So I can use the sienna brown to map those shapes in and get something down on the paper. This is literally just a case of putting something down, trying to get my bearings on what needs to go where, and it's really going to give me something that I can work with and work on. So once I've got something down in each area, what I can now do is start gradually building up all of the key shapes. I want to be working beyond just that lightest colour. I want to be looking at the main shapes in each section. So I can use a slightly darker green on the leaf back here, for example, to map in all of the patchiness I can see. Now I am really looking at the reference photo to map in this patchiness. It's all very random in where the patches are, and it's pretty hard to be that random unless you're following something. So although I'm not trying to get all of these patches marked in absolutely perfectly the same as on the reference photo, I am really using them as a guide to try where possible to get them to match. And exactly the same goes for the orange areas of the leaf. So in actuality, I would say that the next darkest colour on the leaves is a kind of reddish brown, actually the same brown that we used on the chestnuts. And I want to use this pencil to map in all of the key shapes on here. So a lot of the lines that run through the leaf extends into these kind of orangey outer patches. I am again looking at the reference photo, seeing where these lines are and just marking in the shapes. I can't stress enough that I don't expect it at this point to look amazing. All I want to do is be marking things out and getting my bearings. As I say, it's going to be 10 times more forgiving a little bit later on. So I worked my way around all of the edges of the leaves. What I now want to do is mark out the key shapes on the green area. So I'm using a darker green, it's literally called dark green, to map out the shapes on here. So I want to be going around the spiky edge of the chestnut, mapping that in, and just blocking in a lot of the kind of dotty texture down here and any of the darker spots. And you can see by the end of these first few layers, although it's not looking bright enough, it hasn't got enough contrast, we do have everything mapped out and it's much easier to see what does need to go where. So let's keep working through those darker colours. Moving on to a dark brown now, to start putting this anywhere on the drawing where I can see this colour or darker. So it's generally much darker around the chestnuts, for example. And there are a few areas around the edges, but it's mostly on the chestnuts. Now bear in mind that the chestnuts aren't all one colour. Some areas are much lighter than others. I really only want to be putting this on the darkest areas. And I kind of have 3 dark colours, I would say, in my set. I've got this, which is a dark brown, and then I've also got a pencil called dark umber. It's a very dark brown, and also the black. So I can start off by mapping this in, and then once I put this dark brown in, it's really showing that the light patches on the chestnuts are looking way too light. Obviously we did put that light cool grey on there, but that kind of looks a bit lost now. So let's use a darker cool grey to make these spots a lot darker. Don't worry that maybe it looks a little bit much at this point. I am following what I can see on the reference photo, and they do actually need to be quite dark when I really look at what I can actually see here. Then I can move on to that dark umber, that much darker brown, and put this in all of the nearly darkest colours. So again, I'm building up a lot of this pencil on the chestnuts itself. It's looking a little bit grainy right now, but that's okay, don't worry about that. And then I can use the black pencil to put this on the absolute darkest areas, but there's not really a huge amount of parts that I need to be adding this. There aren't that many areas that are really jet black. Now I'm happy that I've worked from the lighter colours to the darker colours. What I now want to do is start adding in some of the details and generally making everything a lot brighter. So I can start off by using this same reddish brown that we were using earlier to add in all of the little dots. There's so many little dots on the chestnuts that are the details that I really think show at the end. And then now I've added in the darker colours, I can start to think about the most obvious thing that's missing. So some of the green areas now are looking too harsh, where the dark areas are very dark in comparison to the light areas, and we haven't got a huge amount of midtones. So I can go back to the dark green and add in those midtones and use this dark green to just further define some of the shapes that we added up here. They're looking a little bit lost. And then I'm going to work through here, constantly thinking about the most obvious thing that's missing. So the most obvious difference between my drawing and the reference photo. So to start with, the orange areas around the edge of the leaves are looking way too pale. I want to make it much brighter. So I can use this burnt ochre pencil, it's quite a kind of orangey brown, to just go over a lot of these areas and brighten it up. Now I am still pressing nice and lightly here. I don't need to be pressing firm. And I'm still just gradually allowing that pencil to bit by bit build up. Now here, the most obvious thing that I think is missing between my drawing and the reference photo is that the chestnuts are not looking kind of rich enough. So I want to add in some more of that reddish brown that we added towards the start, make them a lot brighter. And you can see that's just giving them a lot more color, a lot more of that kind of chestnut color. And then I can go back to the edges of the leaves. It's still not looking bright enough. I need a kind of earthy orange, so I can add that in, going over all of those darker colors. You can see adding a lighter color like this over the top of dark colors, you can still see all of the colors underneath. It's just making them look a bit richer and a bit more kind of uniform. And then I can use this beige pencil to smooth out a lot of the scratchiness on the leaves. And actually it's coming together reasonably quickly. So again, the most obvious thing that now I would say is missing is the green areas are not bright enough. So I can use that same green that we used before to go back over the same shapes and just make everything look a lot richer. And I'm going to work through a few different greens to adjust the richness and make it look brighter. So a bit of a darker, more earthy green here to kind kind of smooth everything out before going back to that reddish brown, and just the edges of the grey areas are looking a little bit too harsh. And I'm just going to keep working through here one colour at a time, building up a lot of the same colours that I already have, making everything brighter. Once you've got everything mapped in, I think it gets much easier. You're really just trying to get the colour to match the reference. Now at this point, I'm generally happy with the drawing. I'm happy with all of the colours. What I want to do now is really focus on smoothing things out, particularly the chestnuts. They just look quite kind of scratchy. So it's at this point that I can start pressing much firmer. I'm using a different colour in each area. So here I want to really smooth out the darker areas of the chestnut. So I'm using the lightest colour in each area to add a final smoothing. So here is the dark brown, which is the lightest dark brown in the area. And you can see if I apply a firm pressure, it's just getting rid of all of those little white dots that are showing through the paper. This isn't a very long process, but I think it makes such a massive difference just having the chestnuts particularly looking much smoother. So I can use the light grey on the grey areas to smooth that out, again applying really firm pressure on just the grey areas, and it looks so much nicer and so much smoother. And then on the mid-tone areas of the chestnuts, I can use the burnt sienna, the sienna brown, just to smooth those out and remove the white dots. And I'm just working through these colours one at a time to smooth this out. And then what we're left with is a really lovely smooth drawing with some really detailed looking chestnuts. And that is the end of the drawing. Now I hope that you like this drawing. Remember, if you want to draw it with me in a lot more detail, it is available on my Patreon. And probably my most popular autumn drawing is a pumpkin. If you want to see how I went about drawing that, check out this video here. Happy drawing, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.